We don't have tape nowadays, remember?
Yeah. Bite me.
Or
Where do you want to be bitten?
Baby.
That's what Led Zeppelin really wants to know.
Uh-huh.
was shy.
Thank you.
Dex is here. So is Mother. Hi, Mother.
Hi, guys. 30 seconds till live on the radio. Stream is rolling. Music is rolling.
With the proper PV penis.
And with the proper penis. That's right. Quiet on the set.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch of no other than a dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack.
Hi, Jack. How are you today?
How you doing, Laz?
Oh,
How you
I'm doing good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
That's right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Today is Tuesday, December 13th, 2016, here inside Shroud Avatar. For the record, well, yeah, Laz is on happy pills.
Laz is always on the happy
That's
pills. What are you
right.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Can't do a show without the happy pills, man.
Right.
That sounds a little rough coming across the monitor.
I don't know what you're talking about. What Laz is on the happy pills sounds rough.
Here.
Yeah.
So it is Tuesday. We got about 2 days before the next release, and everybody starts doing the Christmas break. Is Holly? We can go ahead and move on with some other music now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gotta love the music system.
I especially like the sheet music system. I have several pieces of sheet music.
You mean the
for,
cheat music system? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The cheat music?
Yep, that's right.
For those people who
I do know is Stones.
yeah, for those people who don't know how to program their own or download and move it in. No, actually,
Well,
I love sheet
totally
music.
different.
I love the fact that we can put it down there and sell it and pass it out and have our creations, given out to the world out there.
What I like about it is the fact that it doesn't automatically download those files into the songs folder, so that way it incentivizes people to actually go out and buy more sheet music.
Well, you would think, but of course, you got plenty of places out there. You got Shroud Music, for instance, has got plenty of MIDI ABC files for you to go out and download. And of course, you can do it like Merck did and said, "Hey, Laz, you got some files for me?" And I zipped up my directory. It took up like a whole two megabytes or something like that in ABC format, and sent them on over. And,
I asked for sheet music, and I got sheet music.
Yep. When you ask for something around here in this community, you actually get it. So, go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. But moving right along, we got all sorts of good stuff for you. What's that?
Thex wants you to know that Novi and Napster is killing Skirta's biznatch.
I tell you, well, Scrota's got to get out there and work a little bit more. Yeah, Novi and Napster. Oh, that's it. It's noviandnapster.com.
That's right. It's coming soon.
Does Metallica know what he's up to?
I tell you, is he paying those fees to those guys? He's putting their sheet music out there for sale?
He's giving them 1/100th of each gold piece.
Of each gold piece is dedicated to
yes. Paying those royalties.
Paying those royalty fees. Now that should go into the Novian Artist Fund, right?
That's right. It is. I believe I have that character name, the Novian Artist Fund.
And you
if
can
not,
just
it will be there soon.
send those to the PayPal address.
all
Novian
gold
Artist
donations go
Funds
straight
at
to me.
Synesys.com. But yes, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Again, releases coming Thursday. For those of you folks who are not paying attention and don't follow us regularly or just catch us every once in a while, this Thursday, the 15th, we were going to be having release 37. 37 full releases. And of course,
37 months.
well, you know what that means. There's two events that happen every release. And of course, the first one of those, of course, is the release dance party that happens on the Friday thereafter.
Party.
That's right, the Fire Lotus release party. And that's happening in Radio City this month for the holidays, going back to its roots as it may be. And with that, we get the Hangouts of the Avatar, which is going to be on the 20th. What day of the week is that? That's
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. And I mean, that means it's a good time to bring that post up there.
Do you really think we want to do that?
Well, you just brought it up, so.
Well, okay. I guess then we can bring it up.
Yeah, there is the post on the front page of the website. It is actually the second post on the website right now. The Hangout of the Avatar Postmortem Release 37. That's going to be starting at 3 p.m. Central on Twitch on December 20th.
I miss when they used to do it like regularly on Thursdays, so we knew exactly when it was going to be.
Yeah, well, I think they're doing it on Tuesday this month because they don't want to get it too close to the Christmas season.
The Vooch!
And so, yes. So someone just followed your channel.
Oh, I didn't see a follow come up.
Oh.
I just see the Vooch saying hello and Tally Poe.
Oh.
Blood Omen just saying good morning to the good folks out in chat there, my friend. You know how that goes.
Sorry, distracted.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I forgot to load up Chatty a little bit early today. So, yeah. But it's coming up, and which means
yeah. Story of your life is coming up. That's what she said. And she's still waiting, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So Berg does say that you can provide 3 questions.
3, folks. Count them. 1.
3.
1.
3.
1 question.
3 or less. Yeah.
2 questions. 3. 3.
questions.
No more than 3. We throw you out if you ask more than 3.
Yes, and then so people have already started posting their questions up for the Hangouts. We'll probably talk about that next Monday as we're complaining about certain aspects of Release 37 as well.
Now, do we want to pick a couple of these out and just hit the ones that are here right now just for giggles and grins, or we want to make them wait on them? We'll make them wait for right now.
We'll make them wait now. Okay.
I haven't put the replies up on screen yet, so.
I was already scrolling down there.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Yeah, well, you know me. Sometimes a little quick on the trigger.
Yeah, sometimes. That's not what she said, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Killing me, Smalls.
I'm telling you. You're leaving yourself wide open to this shit today. It's not my fault.
I don't know what's going on.
Led Zepp
No more
Led Zepp
game
hasn't put
now.
his foot in his mouth yet, so I'm just waiting for that.
Well,
That'll happen.
That's because
It's
he
coming.
was doing
It's
stuff
coming.
earlier with the yeah.
Yeah, is that Thex I hear in studio? I know I see you in game there.
It is.
It
How's
is.
it going?
Oh, good. How's things by you? How's business out there in Auchenshire and Markham Farms?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty steady so far. We got that opened, and we got one in Port Phoenix going. So, couple locations, and
good.
slowly taking over the world in blood cotton.
Yeah. What are we gonna do today, Jack? Same thing we do every day, lads. Try and take over the world. That's right.
See, Led Zepp's saying stuff in game. He's really trying to be quiet today.
Blood cotton. That's okay. It comes up in my chat, so everybody sees everything he says in the chat box. I don't know what he's trying to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should move the text box front and center
Yeah.
just for Zepp.
Oh, what? We just bring it right up in the middle of the screen and make it really large right over Led Zepp's head. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Better watch out. We can do things like that.
Yeah.
You don't want to know the kind of text we can put over your head.
I know.
Luckily for me, the blimp is blocking your face out, so I don't have to look at your face today. So,
Oh, you see, I have to
and
look
Jack
at
Blimp.
his face. Although I do need to turn off names again, just because it's like lots of names.
Yeah, it's not a lot of names.
Names.
Now, the real question is it's Thex doing the lean in the chair, or is he pretending to
It
be
looks
drunk
like
in the
he's
chair
doing
while
the
smoking
lean, but he's smoking. Can you smoke and do the lean at the same time?
I don't know. I'm
No
kinda curious
Thex
about what
comments,
Thex is doing.
commentary, or is it just he's a little drunk today and it's just showing in his avatar.
Yeah. I mean that is something that does need to actually happen in game. Is that we need to be able to do multiple emotes at the same time. So the drunk lean would be very, very appropriate.
Yeah, there you go. I had to get up and
Yeah.
hold Led Zepp up there.
Yep.
You gotta stop drinking all that mead before you come to the show, Zepp. I'm telling you.
It's the hooch.
That's
Yeah.
pills.
And
It's
here's the
pills,
Shroud.
The pills he took.
That's
Scroot
it.
is coming.
Scroat is here. Him and Horsey.
Hello.
I tell you,
Morning, sunshine.
I don't know who's more famous, him or the
What's
horse.
up, baby? Horsey's cool.
But we got a couple questions out there. Moving on here, a couple topics out there that we've seen, and I think it's worth talking about out there. Now we're gonna do which one first? We said the multiplayer one.
Yeah, well, let's start with the selective multiplayer,
Ding dong.
which
Somebody-
means someone joined us in Zoom.
Yeah. Let's see who joined us first. Let's see who's popping
Solazar.
on in.
Hold on. Hey, Solazar, we do our live stream within Discord, so instead of, as far as the voice goes, instead of in here.
Yeah, right, no, well, Murphy there is always harassing me, so I can fuck with
Yeah.
him real quick.
But if you could,
Oh,
if you can,
that's
if you can mute your mic in here.
Tell him that was you, alright? Somebody can kiss my ass. You guys ever do it? Oh, it's in the back.
Okay.
So I guess everybody heard that.
It's all good. I mean,
That's right.
that's the fun part about it.
Is I wish I had it on screen. I don't have that button ready. Damn.
Well, I just had to look over.
Hey. That's why we've got to go ahead and be able to get these folks and start transitioning them over in there. And so if somebody pops in and tells Merc to kiss his ass, we can see that on live stream. And Merc's not even in his chair to defend himself, so that's not right either.
No, he's not. Yeah, so that's the funny part about this is like he's not in his chair. So the empty chair that you see over over someone's head over Laz's head right now is where Mark starts. Ooh.
Yeah, I can turn that on. I can turn that on and show that to everybody. Yes, there in the lower corner, opposite Jack and I, is us all in the room, and you can see Merc's empty chair, and of course you can see our green screens in the background. That's stuff that you don't normally get to see.
It's all good.
It's all the video magic that we can pull there for you guys.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I'm just displaying the Discord. I was displaying the actual channel. It's like, why are people seeing green screens?
Oh, I don't know.
What's really funny is like my shirt, because it's gray, for some reason it's not being filtered out by my green screen. It's actually opaque now, so you can read the text behind me.
Very nice.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, Solazar is picking on him
In Discord?
in chat.
That's even better.
Oops. I hate when that happens.
Well, are you ready to talk about this selective multiplayer working, or will it destroy Shroud of the Avatar?
I don't know. I think we should talk about selective multiplayer and is it working and will it destroy Shroud of the Avatar. What about you?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well, are you ready for me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm typing back to Solazar here.
Okay. Lord Darkmoon does say that he's reading more and more complaints about the selective multiplayer approach for Shroud of the Avatar, and people who play solo or friends only have advantages. People playing in multiplayer, flagging for PvP, get more XP. There's this exploit in that people seem to be very unhappy about selective multiplayer. It's one of the hardest to do right in the game simply because of the balancing. Basically, every mode should be equal, which I think is near impossible to accomplish. Sometimes the devs have to fix the exploit, which is causing problem B. A fix for multiplayer online fails to cause some imbalance in friends only and single player. And a fix for single player and friends only leads to imbalance in multiplayer. It seems like fighting a losing battle. This is where we actually get into a conversation. What was that gesture for?
Yeah, this, that, the other thing, I'm an Italian with a broken fucking arm over here, so I can't wipe my fucking hands properly while you're reading that off, I got this problem, I got that problem, I got the other problem,
You got this problem?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I can't do that right now. It just doesn't work right. Yeah,
just doesn't
can't get that
well.
wrist motion in.
So let's go ahead and talk about this. I mean, this is
absolutely now
my biggest complaints so far has been about the spawns related to friends only, single player, and multiplayer all being exactly the same, which introduces the game balance issue. And unfortunately, this is a Dev Plus conversation for that answer, but I will let you guys know. Hopefully, I won't get banned from Dev Plus, but balance is coming.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not a nice way for those that only play single player and friends only online.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I forget who. Maybe if there's anybody in here, go ahead and chime in. Where I was talking about all this stuff, and of course there are changes coming. Of course, as the game progresses, things are getting tweaked to make things balanced, and we understand this. But one of the things that I had said was that one of the hottest topics out there, of course, is this multi-mode gaming system that we have here in Shroud of the Avatar. And my thoughts, and again, folks, these are my thoughts. This is not anything I've spoken to anybody out about in Portalarium or anything like that. But my thoughts are that eventually, I think we should just eliminate all this other stuff, go with the multiplayer MMO, and go with the single-player offline narrative, and drop the rest of the crap in between, because it's just too much of a pain in the ass, okay? And
Well,
I sort of
actually
foresee
kind
some of
agree
this.
with
I
you.
so agree.
Yeah, I kind of foresee at a point where they just may throw their hands up and go, you know what, it was a nice shot, but it's just too hard to keep programming in between these modes to keep everybody happy. We make it an MMO, we make a single line narrative, and we wash our hands of the rest of the stuff and chalk it up to experience. Yeah.
Looks like it's not populated that way either.
Yeah. At the same time, all of the scenes are instanced.
Correct.
And so everything is instanced. And so if you are, whoops, I just almost muted you in OBS. It's pretty funny. So since everything is instanced, it doesn't really matter if 40 different players are playing the same instance, because they're not going to be in the exact same instance. They're going to be in different instances. And that is something where it also ties into what I've said multiple times. The devs need to get together in a group of 8 and at level for what they're saying is the scene levels, and figure out what actually happens in those scenes, because I know people that can actually wipe through Deep Ravenswood by themselves.
In about 20 minutes.
One player. Yeah, and kill the entire scene in probably 10 or 15 minutes. And so there's a lot that needs to be addressed and a lot that needs to be changed. And we do know that those changes are coming.
Yes. Now, how effective they're going to be, again, as we go through, you can get some hints if you want to go back and look at the stand-up corners throughout the past week or so. Yeah. Of course, while we do read that out on a pretty regular basis, there hasn't been an update yet for that that we're aware of. But there's always a lot of good hints in there. Not only do we just make fun of, some of the updates and what's going on, in the offices down there, but there's a lot of good inside information if you're paying attention to what's said in there. It might not always be written in black and white, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good information out there. And what are you doing? You sexting again while we're on live?
Sexting now.
Yeah, you had to think about that, so I don't know about
Your hands where we can see them. Your hands where we can see them.
Okay, is this good enough for you? So that way,
now all I see is your head against the camera. Yeah, and you're really messing up your screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like, yeah. No,
That looks nasty.
Squirrel. It's I have to read something because someone sent me a message on my phone.
Oh. Well, how important could it be?
Very.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what did you think about that, Jack?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So yes, absolutely. So what do we have as to thoughts and comments on that topic? I had a couple of you guys chime in and say, yeah, you agree. So what are your thoughts out there? I heard Merc chime in. I heard Zep chime in. Anybody else, of course?
You know, I agree with you about the possibility of eventually closing down the friends only and single player online modes, just because.
Yeah, it looks like it's not populated. Nobody's even in the game. That's one reason.
Well, I mean that's.
Well, even again, as Jack pointed out, we have instances, including the overland map. So you're still never going to see 300 people running on the overland map. It's not going to happen. It's not built to do that. It's not meant to handle that. The most you may ever see at one time is 16, maybe. And
I knew that zones were instance, but the overland app is also
everything is instance. Yes, each map is instance in itself, including the overland maps.
Like Owl's Head, I believe the only supports 64 character. Some of the player-owned towns support 128.
120, I thought it was.
So, yeah.
Thereabouts, okay. We're in the ballpark.
Yeah. And we're in the ballpark. We don't know exact numbers. But that's one where it's like, for larger events, they also need to, like, eventually get it to 512 maybe 1024 in major instances, and they need to optimize. But we also know that optimization, as far as Unity goes, that needs significant work as well.
And what we can tell you, because they have announced that, is that they mentioned in the telethon that there's going to be a major optimization pass here coming up. So I'm hopeful, as I've been into the QA once or twice, and the QA is still a little rough around the edges right now, is all I got to say. And it was rough coming out of the gate.
Just a little bit.
Huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, blue screens of death and game hanging on launch.
Wait, you actually BSOD'd?
Not me. These are just reports I've read.
Okay.
You know, when the first patch came out. BSODs I saw reported. So that was not good out of the gate. And then, of course, I wasn't seeing any great, and I was hearing a lot of complaints about frame rate and all that good stuff. But again, it's still a little shaky, but hopefully by Thursday we'll have those little quirks worked out.
So as far as the 3 different modes go, how many people do you think would rage quit if they took away the single player and friends only?
Well, I think that the upcoming changes will address a lot of that, and we're just going to wait till next week before we get too deep into that topic. One of the reasons why we're bringing this topic up now is because I think this topic that this person's talking about here, Lord Darkman.
There's a lot of forum posts. Yeah.
And a lot of people have been, this is not the first time it's come up. Again, it's going to be yet to be seen, and it's going to be the hot topic for the Christmas season, in my opinion. Coming into this release coming out, we got now a 6-week stretch before release 38. So there's going to be 6 weeks for people to bitch and moan about anything that happens here in this next release, and going to be an interesting 6 weeks, because coming into Q1 of 2017 is going to be an interesting story in itself. Of course, we are also waiting for Star, and I don't know, when do you anticipate we're going to see Q1 announcement? Are we going to see it this week's release, or are we going to see it at the end of the month?
Nope.
I'm banking at the end of the month.
Nope. I think, if anything, since we've had lots of hints that it's going to be the end of Q1, that means it would be in the Q1 announcement.
Well, we know Star is working on the Q1 announcement. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's if the release actually makes it to the end of Q1.
Okay, well, that's another story in itself as well.
And right now, I'm hesitant to say that that's actually going to make it, just because the thing that's really holding up that is story. And if we don't have someone working on story all the time, then it's never going to get done. No matter how much he says, hey, this is what you're going to be working on this month.
Oh, that's right. I don't know if you got the message there, Merc, but Solazar came in and said, you suck and you deserve it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's great. He's a doofus.
And then he came and he danced all over your dead lying body there on set.
Yeah, I saw it.
You're lucky he didn't teabag you. Maybe he just doesn't know how to do that
I think
yet.
he did. I think he did.
Well, Solazar, that's what he was doing with the headbanging on top of him. It was our version of teabagging. Now, it would have been funnier if he decided to go ahead and do the begging.
No.
Right on top of him. What?
Well, honestly, I'm asking for it. You know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say real quick for as far as the modes go, I think, screw online single player and the friends mode. It just, for balancing and the population concerns. One thing, obviously you think there's going to be people crying that we're taking something away from them. but there wasn't anything in the Kickstarter about those modes, right? It was just promised there would be a single player component, excuse me, and a multiplayer component. Those other modes weren't promised in the Kickstarter, were they?
Yeah, I believe they were, but at the same time...
Never mind everything I just said.
Yeah, I'd have to go look at the Kickstarter again, but I believe
that's the emote you have to use if you want to do it right.
Yeah.
There's nothing in those modes though that you can't get on MMO. That's what I don't understand.
Well, see again, there are ways to exploit the differences of the instancing, and a lot of players know this out there, and that's one of the things you've seen out there is people jump from mode to mode to mode in order to reset instances,
right.
and the problem is resetting instances. Now, if you can get rid of the resetting instances problem, give them all the modes they want. But that in itself is another problem. Now there he is.
But if they took those two away, they're not going to be losing anything, right? It'll just be more balanced for everybody. It'll be the same game for everybody.
Technically, at least that's what we would like to see. But again, can't comment until at least Friday on that, or elaborate any further on that till at least Friday. Or has that information been released? I have to double check that.
Okay, so
it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it'll ever be balanced with with people jumping in and out of multiplayer but living in the same economy.
Well, that's again, Jack has always been one of those, that and control points, and they're working on control points as well.
Just because I have my soapboxes and I like to remain consistent.
I've seen a couple of posts out there that we could pick out of the hat as well on the control points. How they're easily abusable, how you can exploit them and run them naked, how they're just not doing anything to stop anybody from getting goods through. I mean, everything that control points are meant to do, they don't do. And we've said this for well over a year now, so I just don't understand why we still have these points that do nothing except slow you down. And maybe that's pretty much what they were,
that's one where I like to harp about them. It's the same way that I like to harp about the fact that the random encounters is severely lacking.
Yeah.
What?
Now, these guys over here all standing in front, they realize we're trying to do a show here, and they're all blocking the camera, right?
You know what? I don't think they care.
They care, that's
because
right.
Skirt
He's belly dancing for me now, I know.
That's right.
See, that's the kind of adoring fans that we have around here. They just come on in and take over the set, and
they're interfering with you, not with me.
Hey, there's a reason why I love this shit. Because we don't care about it, We were having a good time. If Scroto wants to come and squat on top of my head and belly dance in front of me, he's more than welcome to do it.
Hey, Solas are down in front.
Is just make sure that we don't, let Horsey get in the Led Zepp's hands and.
Yeah.
He likes.
He ain't got nothing on me.
It's Horsey abuse.
Led Zepp will be renting them out for the pony show, and we're not talking about the kids' party. That's for sure.
Zepp is milking Horsey.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see that picture.
No.
Now,
just keep your goats locked up around Led Zepp's
your
around.
sheep. Keep your sheep
Your
locked
kids.
up. Keep your kids. Keep your sheep. Might as well just keep everything locked up while Led Zepp's roaming the streets. Bah. Moo. But, again, that was just my thought on it, and I just don't know. Again, time will tell here shortly, and it's going to be fun because there's all sorts of just innuendo and shit going on in the forums now over proposed changes, new experiments, this, that, the other thing. And, of course, I got a lot of people who go, well, hey, it's an experiment. And I go, well, hey, it's a way of saying we're putting it in whether you like it or not. But that's just my 2 cents on that. But what about the next question we have here, Jack? Next posed question up here. And I know this topic touches to a lot of people out there who have the same complaint, the same problem, the same, you know.
Well, if you also, you need to look at Master Valo's response with balance is long overdue, and that people feel like they're losing things when they're playing easy mode. And as balance comes in and tries to make things a little bit more beneficial for other things, you end up changing roleplay. It's like when people were bitching about /zone disappearing.
Well, I'm still trying to get an answer on the no zone command, and nobody wants to officially answer that. So, you know, especially with PvP. Well, come on now, you're a PvPer, and you know you got an extensive friends list, and you don't know, maybe one of your friends decides to go rogue and is now giving up your information. You know, now see, I have a very extensive friends list. So now if I wanted to play a little roguish character, I could start selling information on where people are on my friends list to other people looking to kill those people for a profit. Do you understand where the problem is with that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't see a problem with the profit or anything, but that's another story.
That's a great idea, Laz. I'm writing that down.
Hey, now, that's trademark Lazarus Incorporated. Don't you forget it. Yes, I have played UO for a time. I know about all the devious tricks out there. I've been around the block once or twice. Information is key. But could you imagine somebody like myself who just decides to go, okay, I've got a couple thousand people on my friends list, and, you know, a bunch of them are PvP. I could start selling locations like that, you know, discreetly to make a profit by disclosing the locations of people to be hunted down. Now, of course,
if you want to know where anybody is on my friends list, let me know.
Just look on a screen.
Yeah, yep. See, everybody that has not accepted my friend request in gold. It's very disappointing.
What do you mean, like nobody?
A lot of people have not said they have not touched the F key in a while.
Yeah, well. Not as bad as Beric's F key. At least last I saw. I haven't looked at his last stream, but
I can't get Gix to accept me.
Really?
No, he's my only one.
You got to yell at him when he's here next.
Kid F. Yeah, that's right. Accept my friend.
Oh, check that out. That looks pretty cool, Scrota.
The BMC cloak, or
the way he's standing with his back to this, with the crystal sword and the pointy, shiny, sparkly wizard hat.
Yeah.
That's not his sword.
Oh, sorry. I thought he had his sword out. Ooh, we'll have to transition.
It's a little wavy.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to comment on that, but, you know, Thex went there. What can I say?
Yeah. It's a little awkwardly shaped.
Things that make you go
pointy on the end.
So what are they going to do
to tip
to address how easy it is to GM?
Well, that's a topic for another whole show.
That is something that we were talking about before the show.
Yeah, the couple people with 100 GMs out there already. You mean?
Yeah, that's my big balance issue.
You talking about? You only have 2 of them, for God's sakes.
Who?
But I'm not even trying.
Tailoring, that ain't a damn GM. Acrobatics.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Well, gymnastics, huh?
But I talk to a lot of guys that have 20, 30 GMs, and they're begging to get nerfed. They're like, I got to play through 5 episodes, and all my skills are already GM'd. What am I going to do for the next 5 years?
Yeah, well,
that, and it also prevents any kind of specialization. So, one of the things that they talked about was specialization within those trees, and then you end up, where's the specialization when someone has 20, 30 GMs? And there is no need for anybody to ever specialize in anything. It's like, one of the things that they talked about was, hey, you might actually have to go out and find someone who's specialized in some sort of crafting, say tailoring, and I gotta find tailor now. And
acrobatics.
Yeah, they had a choice of masterwork cloth or masterwork leather. and they didn't specialize in one. They only can specialize in one.
Yeah, I had that conversation with somebody as well the other night in Chatty. They popped into the room and was asking about the game, and they asked about the skill caps, the limits, and he's like, so I'll only ever need one character, you're saying? And I says, absolutely.
Exactly.
If you only want to have one character, you can do just about anything you need to get done, but you can shit-can specialization. That's what it comes down to. Now,
yeah, and from an economy standpoint, I mean, there's no reason to buy any craftables from anybody. I mean, I craft all my own stuff, it's like...
Well, that's not absolutely true either. While I spend a lot of time, Jack spends a lot of time doing our own crafting for what we do, there's a lot of things that I just rather... I mean, armor. I don't want to take the time to sit down and learn how to craft armor because it's too much of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. So
but you could.
I could, but I also know, and I have,
just by crafting.
But I also know that I'm not going to craft anything as good as what I've bought off vendors already, and that I've got some +9 stuff that's pretty nice, but I know I can get better stuff than that, and I know I'm never going to craft that as Lazarus Long. Now, don't get me wrong, I have 12 other characters, 15 other characters to play with down the line. And believe me, some of those guys are going to specialize in nothing but tailoring or, masterwork, iron smithing, as it may be. Smithing. Iron smithing. Where did I get that?
I have no idea.
Where I can have my own, but that's going to take work to have those multiple characters as well. Something we've been telling everybody since day one, since we got on the air. This game is going to require you to think, and it's going to require you to put the time in and work. And if you don't understand that concept, this is probably not the game for you. But the rewards at the end of putting that work in are going to be fantastic. And if you've seen those guys out there who have, fully GM plus some combat skills, these guys are just total terrors out there. The guys like me who have 70 in this and 50 in that and 80 in that, I can go out and take care of some mobs, but I ain't going killing no troll by myself. That's for sure.
Well, that's one where they either need to increase the amount of XP in order it takes to GM a skill, so that way that would remove most of those.
Well, then
GMs,
where does the balance come in for those guys who already have it? When they make those changes, and then everybody else then gets screwed.
Or limit the number of GMs that a person can have.
Well, then we have a stat cap, which we were promised we weren't going to have.
If the game has 5 episodes, which is going to take several years to do, I mean, it just makes sense that they should scale it out to, you shouldn't be getting GMs until around episode 5. It should take a couple of years. Again,
and that's the plan, but I think Decay hasn't fully kicked in yet either. Chris, who was it? I think it was Blood Omen who said Evil Chris is going to make an appearance again. And we're going to start seeing a lot more of Evil Chris out there as these tweaks become harder and harder. And we get that dialed in as it may be.
Yeah, they were talking about it going through atrophy. It was going to decay, I guess, all your shit.
Yeah, now again, that number that we have right now was just the first iteration, the first test number. Thank you, Blood Open. I know I had to go back and verify that. I like to give credit where credit is due, but you're going to be seeing Evil Chris show up more and more because he's the guy who makes those final judgments. He makes those balancing calls. And he's gone back a couple times and said, "Doe, I screwed up. I screwed the pooch. Yeah. This wasn't doing this right, and we're fixing that." And unfortunately, it takes a little time. I mean, people have given him feedback, and we say, this ain't working. And he goes, "Yes, it is." And it takes him a week to go finally look at the code, and then he goes, "Oh, shit, I just screwed the pooch big time."
I forgot to do something.
Yeah. I didn't move that decimal point the right way, or I multiplied where I should have divided. It happens. He's human.
Well, the good thing is that, at least he's looking at that data so that way he can recognize that when a mistake is made, that it can be rectified.
Yes.
And as things start being balanced, it's going to upset a ton of people in the community. I know myself, I've only ever crafted teleports and recall scrolls. I've already managed to get to 85 alchemy. And that's one where it's like, you know what? Even the system of diminishing returns that he's talked about over and over and over again.
Still not working properly.
Yeah, it's one where it's like, you know what? I shouldn't be gaining anything in alchemy as I craft a teleport or recall scroll, just because I've crafted thousands of them, and yet I'm still advancing. And probably later today, I will be 86 or 87, depending on how many scrolls I craft.
Yeah, higher level recipes.
Now,
exactly,
again,
and that's one where it's like they have to modify the.
I gotta argue that just a wee bit.
Skill requirements for everything.
Because if you actually go up the crafting tree and start crafting harder stuff, that takes the hurting off of getting those gains. It takes a lot longer to get to GM by just crafting that low level because it hurts. That's the long route, and that is an absolute truth, as a matter of saying. If you go up and work that chain higher, you will gain faster. But it is technically possible, like you said, just to get there by doing nothing but recall and teleport scrolls. It takes a lot longer.
But what about more level requirements? Like when I first started playing, I made an epic cloth with like 0 tailoring skill. It's like that should be something that should be like 50.
Didn't that just hit in this release with the new recipe changes? Yeah, you now have required levels before you can actually craft those recipes.
Yeah, they're tiered.
That came in this release.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
Never mind. Yes, actually, that did come in this release, Dex. As well as learning recipes. You can no longer take those higher level recipes and just go out to sodacrafting.wiki, get the recipe, and put it into the table and create it. Now, if you haven't learned it by now, you actually got to go buy it because a lot of recipes are no longer teachable or learnable without buying the recipe. So that's one of those major changes that came in today, or this release. But meanwhile, is going to go ahead and table that other question. We'll table that for tomorrow, maybe, because we do have to get moving on, and we do actually we had a little bit more to say on this first topic, and we might even be able to elaborate on that a little bit more. But it's time to go ahead and get these folks updated on what's going on around town, around Novia.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
So our community calendar is going to be provided to us by our friends over at Avatar Circle, who has created this events calendar, which is also hosted over at NBNN.info. Just click on the calendar button at the top. And all times are Central Standard Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as New Britannia Time.
New Britannia Time.
That's right. The website, Avatar Circle, is currently administered by Kazan Phoenix Fire. You may know him in Discord or on the official forums as Wrath Phoenix. There are also about 30 other people that can actually add events to the calendar, including Radio Free Britannia's Justin, or Laz, or Winfield, or
a bunch of other people. There's no excuse not to have your event listed. If you want to get your event listed and your guild or your association doesn't have a listing there yet, drop us a line. Be more than happy to get it out there for you, get it on the calendar so people know it's happening. As well, you'll get us to read it out when it's happening the day of. Yeah. Pew, pew, pew.
Don't forget, today at noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12 around the clock, there are 2 idiots that don't know what the hell they're doing or even know how to interpret the news on an idiotic show called Lunch with Laz and Jack, which can be heard on Radio Free Britannia, WRFB.
WRFB.
That's right. Or you can always catch it on Twitch, YouTube, whatever.
Replays, the NBNN app.
Yes. Then from there at 2 o'clock this afternoon, you can always join Paxlayer's very own Sean Silverfoot for the Paxlayer Town Manager Hour. And Sean does know everything there is to know about Paxlayer or any of its boroughs, which include Dragon's Watch, Tinnikill, Lockbriar, Island of Wonders, Nowhere, Sea Nymph Grotto.
I love the name of that town.
Sea Nymph Grotto. I love that too.
Nowhere.
Oh, Nowhere. I like Sea Nymph Grotto. At 3 o'clock, if you're interested in joining the EVL Guild for their European dungeon crawl, all of our European friends, you can contact
That hairy and naked?
Offcoff. That's right. And you can join them on the overworld map outside of Owl's Head and go tour around and kill stuff for an hour or two. At 7 o'clock is the Tuesday version of the EVL Monster Mash Dungeon Run, which is hosted by Zenny.
Zenny!
And that also meets outside
Zenny!
Yeah, that's right. Outside of Owl's Head on the overworld map.
Hey, don't correct me. I was calling him Zenny long before you were.
It's a great zini, man.
Zenny.
Zenny Zen. That's right.
The great zini.
Zenny Zen. At 7 p.m., you can also join the Jade Dragons Guild and
Chillblade's Compendium of Pain.
Chillblade's Compendium of Pain and Suffering. Yes. So Whisper Malhari if you want to join that dungeon run, which may or may not take 2 or 3 hours. At 8 o'clock this evening, DJ Selly is going to be doing the Louder show.
Louder!
Yeah, that's right, on Avatar's Radio. And last but not least is Temper Tantrum T-Days on Avatar's Radio with Amber or...
It's my radio, and I gotta do what I want, damn it.
Right. I'll do what I want.
It's my party, and I'll do what I want to.
Yep, and that's our community calendar for this Tuesday, December 13th in Shroud
of the Avatar.
Yes. Yes, and don't be avatarted.
That's right. Thanks to our good friends, the recap band out there, coining that phrase.
Oh, absolutely. I love them for
Don't
that.
be avatarted.
It's too damn funny.
I love it. I love this shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I love even more? I love our sponsors. I love those people who keep us going and help keep everything greased and running around here. Keep Two Idiots Online giving the news to the world out there.
Let me guess, you especially love the Auchenshire Markham Farms.
I love them long time. That's right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
long time. Yeah.
As I learned that from Scroda.
Yeah.
Scroda will teach you the wily arts of I love you long time.
Long time. Oh, I love you long time.
That's right.
Take it away, lass.
And of course, our family of friends here at WRFB. Of course, if you want to get your freak on, join us here every weekday on WRFB or again on YouTube, Twitch, or NBNN.info. Check us out there. Of course, our good friends over at the Auchenshire and Markham Farms, located just south of central Brittany, and Dawn's Keep for all your cotton, vegetable, ale, and other needs, and as well. They now have a secondary location. Where is that at? Port Phoenix?
Port Phoenix.
Port Phoenix. Now with 2 locations. Dawn's Keep and
Snug Harbor.
Port Phoenix.
And don't forget...
Absolutely. We get you set up in Snug Harbor any day of the week. You just say the word and we'll set you up. No worries there. And of course, you can find their store on the Shroud Marketplace as well. If you're looking for those bulk sales and... you don't want to put the time in, you ain't want to run around getting gold, and you just want to buy the shit outright, go check them out. They've got plenty for you out there on the marketplace. Our friends over at the BMC Guild, our home guild, these guys do a lot of great stuff to keep us supported on the air as well. They're doing the best to keep the prices rock solid for you over at Black Rock Cove, right off of Exeter Mines in the Quell area, and Market Road has got all the materials that you need at rock bottom prices across the board. All the vendors selling at the same price, so you don't have to worry about it. If one guy ain't got iron that you need, go to the next guy. He's got it at the same price, so you don't have to worry about getting robbed. our friend Jacob White over at sodamap.com. Soda Map is truth, so says Lord British. Heard him say it with my own 2 ears. Now introducing Soda Navigator, the real-time map that shows you where you are as you're running around. You can get that at sodamap.com from Jacob White. And, of course, there's another topic we want to touch on. We didn't hit it, but we'll hit it tomorrow about maps and all that good stuff. What?
Eventually we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it eventually. I know. What? Ben over at Relics by Rild. RelicsByRild.com for all your licensed Shrouded Avatar swag, like the Oracle shirt that Jack's wearing, the Shrouded Avatar shirts that I wear every day, patches that I put on my hat. You can get yours. Go out to RelicsByRild.com, and if you want to save a little money on that swag, use the promo code NBNN. Get 10% off at checkout. And, of course, if you want to get your hands on the NBNN I Love This Shit bumper sticker, you can get that out at RelicsByRild.com or ShroudMarketplace.com. And, of course, last but not least, our good friends over at the Shroud Marketplace. For all your virtual vendable needs, including services, check out ShroudMarketplace.com, and Jack's going to tell you boys and girls all about the marketplace. At least I hope he's going to.
Maybe.
Nah.
Maybe.
We're just going to cancel that today.
Shroud Marketplace is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. Just like the latest vendor, Seder.
I know.
I need to say this. Stinky Sewer Shop.
Stater's Stinky Sewer Shop. That's right. I love it.
Sater's Stinky Sewer Shop, where they polish the shit out of everything. Which has a bunch of cloaks, including the Duke Cloak, the Darkstar Cloak, Knight's Cloak, Baron's Cloak. Or if you want the only version of global chat in Shroud of the Avatar, the Nobles channel, you need the magical discourse orb for that, as well as a bunch of homes.
$500? Really?
You know what? It's, when you think about it, if that's the only global chat in game, it's going to be worth a lot more than that in the future.
I don't see it, because I got a couple of them, and I keep them suckers turned off because there ain't nothing but dribble in there half the time.
Yeah, you know what? Eventually, it's like people are going to abuse it.
Well, but I've given them a solution to that, but we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Whoops.
Whoops. No whoops.
You know what I love is the cheese writing.
The cheese writing.
The cheese writing that is offered by Wolfdom's
cheese sign
shop.
Writing. That's right. Let's bring this up on screen for you. You want your own sign made in cheese?
That's right. The master cheese sign writer, Nataris, will be dispatched to your lab to build an excellent sign for your upcoming event or general advertisement. Signs are limited to 10 letters per purchased sign pack. The silly thing I think about that is, you know what, it actually does take a lot to go ahead and write those
well, first you have to make the cheese, and then of course then you got to cut the cheese.
It's a lot of cutting the cheese. I mean, the fact that they're all really small triangles and they have to be lined up and they have to be designed and they have to turn around and do all kinds of work with it. It does take a lot of time and effort, but that is a service that is provided on Shroud Marketplace. Don't forget, if you want to become a vendor, just go to vendor registration on the left-hand side, and you too can sell your services or items in Shroud.
Hey, it ain't my fault he put up the cheese service. I'm sorry.
Killing me, man.
Hey, you know. I don't know what you're talking about.
You.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes. Dirty bastards. Yeah. So moving right along, we do have to thank the most important people around here. And that's you guys that are watching every single day out on Twitch, YouTube, or listening on WRFB.
WRFB. That's right. We got to thank you guys. We love you guys, especially people like Sid, I think, who's throwing those farts in the background. I know I started it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about.
Yeah, Sid and Zep. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for abusing the sound effects like there's no tomorrow. We couldn't do the show without you guys, and we do it for you guys. So thank you.
That's right. As we appreciate all you guys joining us each and every day here in Shroud of the Avatar. And of course, we love bringing it to you. That's why we love this shit. We just don't like it wet and sloppy like that, I tell you. Yeah. All right, enough.
You're killing me.
Don't make me shut down the grimy trader.
Grimy.
Don't make me send the grimy trader home now. You guys are killing me. I love this shit so much. But that's going to be about it for us today, folks. Of course, tomorrow is Whacked Out Wednesday. We'll have more news and updates for you then. We'll be giving you some more updates on Thursday's release. And hopefully we'll have some goodies. Maybe Darkstar will get the release notes out by noon so that we can converse them with you here. And, of course, that's what everybody thinks of Star's release notes, I'll tell you. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up and get out of here. You're killing me, all of you. You're killing me.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
All right, enough of that. I had to shut it on down. Stay tuned, NBNN, for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happenings, and all the flatulence that you can ever want to experience here on NBNN. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Stay tuned, NBNN, for more fun and crazy entertainment right here on WRFB and NBNN.info. We'll see y'all tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. No more cut the cheese.
Love you wrong time.
We love you long time. Very wrong time. Love you long time.